All right, hey guys, this is Jesse from Passfire. I'm down at Wayne's World Fireworks. It is Saturday the 5th of October now, and we're here for Wayne's fall demo. Really excited today. I've got Ned Gorski with me. He's from fireworking.com. Great website. Now, I know you brought some stuff down with you. You want to just tell me a little bit about what you got?
I brought a 12-inch ball shell with willow diadem stars in it. I'm experimenting with a new, heavier containment casing on these shells and a little different burst charge, trying to get a big round burst on this shell, big round burst of willow diadem stars that'll then hang a long time. I'm wiring 2 E-match into the 2 leaders going into the shell for redundancy. I'm wiring those in series. They'll be going into 1 lead going to the firing panel. So the 1 lead from the firing panel will fire 2 E-matches, and both leaders go into the bottom of the shell.
And can you tell me a little bit more about this shell again?
Yeah, it's a 12-inch willow diadem shell. It's a very simple shell. It's got 1 layer of 420 willow diadem stars in it. They're slightly smaller than 1 inch in there. The burst charge is 7-to-1 black powder on rice hulls, completely filling that void inside that 1 shell of stars. And that's dusted with slow flash booster. Got about 60 grams of slow flash booster in there. The difference in this shell as opposed to what I've made before is on the wasp machine, Jim Widman's wasp machine, I made slightly smaller hemis on that. They're 10 3/8 ID, and they're about 3/16 inch thick. And on top of that, I've got almost 3/8 inch of taped wasp taping on there. So the actual casing's about a 1/2 inch thick. So it's more confinement and a slightly more stout burst charge, getting that big, round, spherical, symmetrical burst. That's the idea, and I shot one last week and it worked really well, so I'm optimistic about this one tonight. And on top of that, it's just got a big 3.5 inch Chrysanthemum 6 titanium, ferrotitanium comet on it for a big rising tail on the way up. It's got about 2.5 inches of time fused on it, so it should go up for about 7.5 seconds and then break right at apogee. Yeah, these are what they would call 6-pound black powder rocket motors. They're actually 1.5 inch ID. The 6-pound doesn't have any real correlation to anything in the real world. So 1.5 inch ID, 16-inch long black powder core burning rocket motors. They'll leave a nice, real pretty charcoal tail. They're not a real hot, powerful motor. They have a lot of coarse charcoal in them, so they leave a nice coarse charcoal tail on the way up. They will burn for about 5 to 6 seconds, and then the 5-inch cylindrical heading will burst. Hopefully, you filmed a lot of Tom Rebenklaus rockets where he has that rocket go up, and then his headings break. He actually calls his rockets orientation devices. The idea is to have that rocket motor still going up with the sticks pointed at the crowd, so when the heading breaks, it breaks symmetrically to the crowd. One of the disadvantages of a cylinder shell or rocket heading is that it's dependent on orientation in the sky to really look just perfect to a crowd. The rocket motor helps, as opposed to an aerial shell, the rocket motor helps orient that heading so it breaks round. There's 2 of these that have charcoal metal comets in them. One of them has crackle in the comets. About 61 comets in each heading on 2 of the headings. The other one are just variegated multicolor color stars in there. I'm experimenting once again with a break charge in there. They're randomly loaded stars with black powder coated with slow flash booster on the black powder granules. And I'm mostly interested in seeing tonight if these rocket motors, which have an 1 5/8 delay above the spindle, if they lift those headings to just the right height, but they're still going away from the crowd a little bit before the heading breaks. And then I want to see how the headings themselves break and display in the sky. Why I use 4 sticks on a rocket, whereas we're used to seeing 1 or maybe 2. If I used one stick, it would to stabilize the rocket in flight, which depends on weight and drag behind the rocket motor. To stabilize this rocket with one stick would require probably a 1 inch by 1 inch, 8-foot long stick. Whereas I can get by with the 5-foot long sticks, 4 of them, these are about 3/8 by 3/8. I can get by with 4 sticks and a shorter rocket motor. Makes the construction and the loading of the rocket more easily done, and also creates a little less dangerous fallout when it's coming down out of the sky. I am wiring the 4 Qs that will ignite the rockets into a Cobra module firing system. And then I'll test them for continuity, and then I won't arm this till right before shoot time. What I'm figuring for tonight, I'll shoot these probably around 9 o'clock or so when it's good and dark. Then I got to take this module down there and hook it up to 12, and I'll shoot that sometime shortly after that.
Hey, that was a Ned rocket right there. Handmade, you guys. How many of y'all just wish Uncle Ned was your uncle? We're like, hey, let me come over and hang out for a minute. All right, let's hear it for Ned. That was 4 rockets he's made by himself.